When you think of Hawaiian pizza, you probably imagine a classic combination that's both beloved and hated at the same time. Sweet pineapple chunks paired with savory ham, all sitting on a layer of gooey cheese and tomato sauce. It's the pizza that divides dinner tables, sparks online debates, and challenges the boundaries of what belongs on pizza. But here's the thing that might surprise you the most. Hawaiian pizza isn't actually from Hawaii. Not even close. Its name, as tropical as it sounds, has a backstory that stretches from North America to the Pacific and all the way back to post-war pizza culture. So how did pineapple end up on a pizza? And why is it called Hawaiian in the first place? Let's dive into the unexpected history behind one of the world's most polarizing pizzas. Let's explore, right here, on History of Simple Things. The story begins not in Hawaii, but in Ontario, Canada. The year was 1962, and a man named Sam Panopoulos, a Greek immigrant who owned a small restaurant called the Satellite Restaurant, decided to try something a little unconventional. Like many diners of the time, his restaurant didn't specialize in pizza. It served the usual diner fare: burgers, fries, sandwiches, and maybe a few pizzas for customers looking for something new. Remember, pizza itself was still a novelty in Canada during the early 1960s, only recently introduced by Italian immigrants and just beginning to catch on with mainstream North American audiences. Sam Panopoulos and his brothers, who ran the restaurant together, were constantly experimenting with different toppings. One day, Sam decided to take a can of pineapple from the shelf and toss some of it onto a pizza that already had ham on it. It wasn't planned or inspired by any Hawaiian tradition, it was just curiosity. Sam wanted to see how the sweetness of pineapple would contrast with the salty, smoky taste of ham and the rich, tangy tomato sauce. When they pulled it out of the oven, the result was surprisingly good. The combination worked better than expected. The tropical sweetness balanced the saltiness in a way that felt new and exciting. So why call it Hawaiian? The answer lies right on the label of that pineapple can. The brand of canned pineapple they used was called Hawaiian. Sam Panopoulos later said in interviews that he simply decided to name the pizza after the brand. It wasn't about Hawaii itself, it was just about what was written on the can. And that's how Hawaiian pizza got its name. It was a marketing coincidence that ended up defining one of the most famous pizza styles in the world. Now, despite its Canadian origins, the name Hawaiian wasn't completely random. During the 1950s and 1960s, North America had developed a fascination with Tiki culture. Movies, music, and restaurants were embracing Polynesian-inspired designs and flavors, often romanticizing the idea of tropical islands and paradise living. Tiki bars, Hawaiian shirts, and exotic cocktails were all the rage. So when people heard about a Hawaiian pizza, the name itself carried an exotic appeal. It sounded fun, tropical, and adventurous. Even if it had nothing to do with actual Hawaiian cuisine, the word Hawaiian evoked that sense of warmth and escapism. But of course, not everyone was thrilled about pineapple on pizza. The combination quickly became one of the most controversial food pairings in modern culinary history. Many pizza purists, especially those from Italy, saw it as a sacrilege. In Italy, pizza was considered a traditional, almost sacred food. The idea of putting fruit, especially something as sweet as pineapple, on a pizza was unthinkable. Even to this day, you'll find Italian chefs and pizza lovers who insist that pineapple has no place anywhere near a pizza oven. The debate over Hawaiian pizza reached hilarious proportions over the years. In 2017, Iceland's President Gudni Johannesson jokingly said that if he could pass a law banning pineapple on pizza, he would. His comment went viral, sparking memes and reigniting the great pineapple pizza debate online. Even Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau chimed in, proudly defending Hawaiian pizza on Twitter, reminding everyone that it was, after all, a Canadian invention. The internet had a field day, and once again, the sweet-and-savory pizza found itself in the center of an international conversation. What's fascinating, though, is that despite all the hate it gets, Hawaiian pizza remains one of the most popular pizza varieties in the world. Surveys and sales data from pizza chains consistently show it ranks among the top 5 or 10 favorite pizza toppings combinations in many countries. Its loyal fans argue that the contrast between flavors, the juicy, tangy pineapple cutting through the richness of cheese and ham, is exactly what makes it so satisfying. It challenges expectations, but that's what makes it interesting. And in a way, that rebellious spirit fits perfectly with its accidental origins. Sam Panopoulos didn't set out to create something controversial or famous. He was simply curious, willing to experiment, and unafraid to mix flavors that didn't seem to belong together. In that sense, Hawaiian pizza is a story about creativity and open-mindedness. It's a reminder that sometimes culinary innovation happens not in a high-end kitchen, but in a small-town diner by someone who decides to break the rules. As for Sam Panopoulos himself, he continued to run his restaurant for decades, never quite expecting his creation to become world-famous. It wasn't until years later that he realized just how big of an impact that one pizza experiment had made. Before he passed away in 2017, he expressed pride in having invented something that spread across the globe. And whether people loved it or hated it, they were still talking about it decades later. That, he said, was something special. So the next time you take a bite of a Hawaiian pizza, remember this: it's not from Hawaii, it's from Canada. Its name came from a can, not a culture. And its flavor came from a daring idea, an experiment that defied convention. It's a pizza that embodies curiosity, creativity, and the spirit of trying something new. And that's why, even though people will continue to argue about it forever, Hawaiian pizza has earned its place in food history. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.